Hello and welcome. You're watching NewsX and I'm Megha Sharma. The chilling Ketan murder case has taken yet another significant turn with the Vadgaon Marvel court sending the two accused, Ketan's fiancée Sia Goel and her alleged lover Chetan Chaudhary, to police custody till 3rd of July, giving investigators more time to probe what they describe as a meticulously planned conspiracy. The police had sought a longer remand, arguing that the custodial interrogation is crucial to verify evidence, reconstruct the crime and uncover the full sequence of events. Investigators claim that the duo plotted the murder in advance, with digital evidence, CCTV footage and crime scene reconstruction forming key parts of the probe. The Maharashtra government has decided to conduct the trial through a fast-track court to ensure an expeditious conclusion. The decision came after the victim's father met Chief Minister Devendra Fadnavis in Pune and appealed for swift justice. The Chief Minister assured the family that strict action would be taken against the accused. Remember, Ketan and Sia Goel were engaged on 19th of February and were scheduled to marry later this year. The police suspect Goel had been in a relationship with Chetan Chaudhary since October last year and was unwilling to proceed with the marriage, leading to the two deciding to quote-unquote eliminate Ketan. All right, let's start off this conversation. We have a lot of developments that are taking place in this story as well. I'm going to quickly get in Dhanraj Vanjari, who's a former ACP Mumbai. Mr. Vanjari, let's hear it from you with regards to this process that is being followed by the investigators, by the police. The custody of the two has been extended up until July 3rd. What more important information can be extracted from these two accused by the police in the next 4 days?
Actually, during police investigation, when the presence of accused is required either for interrogation, for the purpose of identification, for the purpose of getting certain fact ascertained, on that basis, police will ask the court to extend his police custody remand. And police are right that way to extend it because they have reconstructed the scene of crime, which would have created a lot of questions, and those questions need to be answered by the accused. Similarly, there will be certain witnesses which will be tallied and their statements also would be recorded. So in all probability, presence of accused, both the accused are required in the police custody. So there is a possibility that he will get police custody again and court will accept the request of police to extend the police custody.
Okay.
Number two, yes.
Okay. Also the question about reconstructing the scene, the fort from where this boy was allegedly pushed and he died, a tragic death that has been completely sealed. What more irrefutable evidence can the police obtain by reconstructing this crime scene?
Reconstructing crime scene will assure the narration made in the FIR, that what way the murder took place and how exactly it is took place. Now, there is no video shooting of the scene when exactly it has happened, but the video shoot will be done when the crime scene is reconstructed. Then, according to that, whatever the narrations are there, whatever the witnesses said, and whatever the behavior or conduct of the accused will come in the light, that will be supported, corroborated by this kind of reconstruction and the video of this reconstruction.
Okay.
For example, the girl said that there was a signal when she will sit down under the pretext of tying her shoelace or some other pretext. That will be the proper signal for the another accused, that is Chaudhary, to push him down. So such kind of things, when it is a narration and when it is a reconstruction, in that case, it will be tallied, and the time factor is the key. How much time it takes, how much time it took. Second important issue is their meticulous planning, the way they planned the conspiracy of entire crime. that also would be tallied. That wearing hoodie, then removing hoodie, keeping his car to avoid the toll registration, then using the scooter to reach to the place, hiding and try to hide every possible move where police may suspect them. And that is their conduct. That is called in the law previous conduct, which
Okay.
is admissible under Indian Evidence Act 1872 Section 8
Okay.
directly as evidence in the court. And that
Okay, all right,
previous
sir. I'm
conduct,
also being joined by Advocate Chandni Preeti Shah. Let's hear it from you, Chandni, with regards to the legal proceedings. Of course, now the case has come to the courts. Chief Minister of Maharashtra himself has intervened in the matter. He has assured the family that the proceedings will be fast-tracked in the court.
Yes.
How long do you think this case is going to be argued in the court of law? Of course, the counsels of Sia and Chetan Chaudhary are refuting every single allegation or charges that have been made by the police.
Megha, so the Maharashtra government has, as you said, that they have promised to conduct this case in a fast-track court, and according to the new Bharatiya Nyaya Sanhita, also some of the cases, these kinds of cases, or high-profile murder cases, rape cases, they have been given a time limit now. That they have to be in a certain period of time, the charge sheet has to be submitted in the court. In a certain period of time, the court has to deliver the verdicts. So I am of the keeping in mind the nature of the crime and the extent of the crime that has taken place. I think within a span of 3 to 6 months, the verdict will be delivered in this matter. I mean, you can take the best example of recent times of Mr. Kamble, who was given death sentence in the Pune rape case, and that was one of the most fast-tracked cases of the recent times. So I am expecting the honorable courts to deliver the verdict within 6 months of from the time the charge sheet is filed in the case.
All right. I'm also being joined by Nirmal Kaur. She's a former DGP in Jharkhand. Nirmal, of course, this entire case has been in the media glare ever since there were these details with regards to the murder, videos that are circulating. They're all on news channels, in newspapers, on social media as well. Do you think this may impact the proceedings and the judgment of the courts?
Media hype, media coverage, media thing, sometimes it becomes a trial by media. Many cases which are being almost tried in the media, the public already has opinions for and against things by what is reported in the media. But that need not be true in the court of law, because court will only keep in mind what is brought before the court. What is brought before the court is the only important thing for the court, and that is what is going to be relevant as the court's process. I mean, evidence will be adduced, evidence will be produced before the court. It will be, there's examination, and then there's cross-examination, and prosecution and defendants side both will do their bit, and on the basis of the evidence produced, the court will decide, what is it is guilty or not.
Okay.
Unfortunately, we have the system of, presumption in favor of the accused, which makes the prosecution's job difficult. And while we are talking of the case and court trials, I would also say that the adversarial system that we follow in Indian courts based on the English law is not really suitable for our district. We should have more of a, an investigative kind of a system which prevails in France in the trial of cases in countries like France. That is what will perhaps make sure that our cases are better tried and the criminal justice system works better.
Okay,
and
there are a lot of reports that are coming in. There are reports particularly about Sia having burnt her fiance's passport because she did not want to travel to Bali with him for a pre-wedding shoot. and there were arguments that have been reported between her and her brother. There's a taxi driver statement that has been released today. Do you think the family was aware of Sia's reluctance to marry this boy, and was there pressure and intimidation from the family side on Sia to get married to him?
I would say family definitely was aware to some degree by the circumstances that are being coming out in the media now, but the family may not have been, I don't think, pressurizing or as such, because there's also, as per one report, she took 1 crore from Ketan to give Chetan, like from her fiance to give it to her boyfriend. She got the money from the fiance saying that she wants to do wedding shopping, and she gave the money to her to the boyfriend, to this accused accomplice or the main murderer, whatever you call him. So I think the pressure couldn't have been that high. It was just that
you
she
know,
thought
at this
that,
point in time, we are assuming over here again. Like I said, when you talk about quote unquote media trial, this is exactly what it is, that we start to assume and presume what the family may have done, what the family may not have done. Was it pressure that was being exerted on her, therefore she took this extreme step, and so on and so forth. I have with me Kanika Ghosh Bose also. She's a women's rights activist. Kanika, you have also followed this news for the last 2 weeks, that it has been making headlines. There are fresh updates coming in by the hour every single day in the last 2 weeks. How do you think the police are proceeding with investigations? And of course, Sia has her counsel. Chetan also has a lawyer who is fighting the case on his behalf. Is that enough?
This is very good that court has speedily handled it. Yes, that is very good, but there are so much several cases in India, in our country, and that I am sorry to say that they are not even got justice. Like not even got justice, and there's so much increasing violence rate, so much increasing today also, and the conviction rate is so low in our country, and for this reason also the cases are so much increasing, violence against women. Yeah.
Okay, I'm specifically talking about this case. I'm not talking about the low conviction rate in our country. I'm not talking about the violence against women. I'm talking about this particular instance where a girl has allegedly conspired with her alleged boyfriend and killed her fiancé by pushing him off the cliff at a Pune fort. In terms of the events that have taken place over the course of the days and weeks, with regards to reports that are pouring in, with regards to what we are hearing and seeing, those videos that have been circulated, this has been a premeditated murder. This has been well thought out. It was plotted. There have been attempts that have been made thrice already by Sia in a bid to allegedly kill her fiancé. She was unsuccessful the first 2 times. The third time, she has allegedly been successful in doing so. How do you see this crime being looked and adjudged by our courts, by our judges?
Normally, there are court and judges, and there's, yes, our law, the law of our country, and this should be just for the victim, etc. And I also want to mention that it should be that, but in the case of, if that is a case against the violence of women, what you have said about the they have sent me the case about the Pune, that the 3-year girls, old, raped, murdered.
Fair enough, ma'am, but I'm at this point in time talking about specifically the Ketan murder case, Ketan Agarwal murder case. I really wish you would focus on that instead of talking about the other crimes that are committed against women and whether there is action taken against it or not. All right, I'm being told there's okay. There's more information coming in amidst the courtroom drama that has taken place in Ketan Agarwal murder case. We are now learning that the Pune Rural Police told the court that while 13 items have been seized so far, there's further evidence that is required to be collected for the investigation to be completed. The police stated that amongst these were the trousers that were worn by Chetan on the day of the incident have not yet been recovered. Ketan Agarwal's passport, allegedly destroyed by Sia Goyal, is also yet to be recovered, is what the police has said. Dhanraj Vanjari, let's hear it from you with regards to these reports. And do you think as per prima facie, with regards to the statement coming in from the taxi driver, there has been a heated argument between the brother and Sia. On the very day she was going to the airport, sitting in the taxi, was going to board the flight. There has been an allegation that she may perhaps have burnt the passport of this boy just so that they would not have to travel to Bali for their pre-wedding shoot. Now, all these, the police is saying that this document is missing. The police is also saying that the trousers that were worn by Chetan Chaudhary on that particular day, when this incident, when this alleged murder took place, has yet to be recovered. Do you think these items could be crucial for the police in figuring out and concluding what happened that day, who were the people involved, and what led to this alleged premeditated murder by Sia and Chetan?
All these things, whatever you spelled out, would be most important for police to construct a complete pillar of evidence. The evidence in this case would be basically on 4 angles. Number 1 would be the conduct. Now, as you said, certain acts of omission and commission. Somewhere they try to hide the passport, they try to hide certain things, they try to hide their appearance. These are all things will be contributory to the plan of conspiracy. And when criminal conspiracy is proved, the criminal conspiracy will be proved on the basis of this element called conduct and the way they acted. Second important issue for police would be the evidence gathered through digital cyber forensic. This cyber forensic science is so meticulous and scientific in a process that evidence is admitted. Third will be the witnesses, like you spelled out the taxi driver's statement. It will have connection of this first, second, third, and finally, it would be the psychological profiling of the accused, both the accused person, which will come under the category of expert evidence, because new BNS has given this thing a great importance. Forensic and the psychology mainstream factor in this case would be a deciding factor whether they possess, or out of these two, whether anyone possess the criminal psychosis to commit the crime. Unless you have a mind to go for crime, you will not go to plan a criminal conspiracy.
Okay, all right. Stay on with me, sir. I have more information. The police have also spoken specifically about Chetan Chaudhary's alleged role in the murder, stating that it is necessary to take Chetan back to Lohagad Fort to reconstruct this sequence of events. The police also stated that Chetan's gait analysis is yet to be conducted. All right, quickly getting in Advocate Chandni. Advocate Chandni, with regards to the reconstruction of the crime sequence, as was spoken by Mr. Vanjari, is extremely important. It could provide the police with much more evidences, circumstantial evidences, how it happened, what exactly happened, and how was this alleged murder committed. Now, in terms of Chetan's presence, how significant does it become? Even as Chetan and his counsel are repeatedly denying having any association whatsoever with Sia. This is despite the fact that there have been videos that have been circulating of Chetan and Sia hugging and sitting with each other and watching a cricket match.
Mega, that's how classic defense works, denial to everything. But when it comes to, crime scene recreation, this is very important to bring Chetan to the crime scene. And what you said about the gait analysis, I'll tell you what it is. It is basically a forensic examination to see that how a person's body moves, how he walks, how he runs, how he stands. They have every individual has a very distinctive movement, a distinctive structural characteristic of carrying their body. So it will help the prosecution to corroborate that, okay, this is the person. It's kind of a profile building to prove that it is indeed Chetan Chaudhary that was seen in the CCTV footage. Plus, as they have stated that they want to acquire his trousers as well, because on the trousers there could be mud, there could be soil, there could be particles which could match the place. There could be abrasions, or if there is a fight, there could be DNA of Ketan on his trousers. So all these things, plus there is also a fact that has been established that there was a signal, that Sia was supposed to sit and, either to tie her shoes or to drink water, and that was a signal. Plus, they had taken a trip earlier to Lohagad, to find out which is the proper place to conduct. So there was a recce done. Right. So this all will be used to corroborate the statements given by Sia that, okay, these all things happened, then they would corroborate it with the facts,
Okay,
whether it happened,
fair enough.
the CCTV
All right.
and
Yeah.
everything.
So yes, all those things are going to be kept in mind by the police during that recreation of the crime scene. Now we're getting more information. The Pune Rural Police has stated in the court that data from WhatsApp calls and chats exchanged between the two accused, Chetan and Sia, needs to be recovered as well. The police said that digital evidence deleted from mobile phones needs to be retrieved through forensic analysis. Since the two resided in different locations, it is necessary to investigate where the alleged conspiracy to commit the murder was hatched. All right, coming back to you, Nirmal Kaur, with regards to the importance and the cruciality of retrieving those WhatsApp chats and phone calls that may have been exchanged between Sia and Chetan, how important a role does this forensic analysis play in being able to recover these chats, which have since then been deleted, obviously, by the two people?
Recovery. I mean, this can be a great piece of evidence to show the kind of, good dialogue or the kind of, intimacy they had and the kind of plotting and planning they did. Those chats will definitely prove that. But, I read somewhere in one of the websites that the conspiracy was planned at some cafe in Pune. They were sitting in a cafe of which they are witnesses and all. I mean, maybe that CCTV footage also can be recovered.
I mean, yes, that's a video that has been circulating. We still don't know what is it that the two were talking about.
Exactly.
Yes,
exactly.
Just the only corroborative evidence at this point of time that they met at a cafe just a day before Sia took her fiancé to the fort.
Yes, that is true. But the evidence in such cases can at best be circumstantial. And that whole sequence of events has to be built up and proved in the court with proper evidence. So these chats, recovered chats can play a very, very significant role in that.
Okay.
Because that is going to be a vital piece of evidence for the police.
Okay, all right. Fresh information coming in. Sia Goel's lawyer has meanwhile made a strong statement in court opposing the police's request for additional custody. The defense argued that their FIR merely states both accused were present at the scene and in contact with each other at the time of the incident, and an arrest cannot be justified on this ground alone. The defense also contended that any necessary recoveries could have been made during the initial remand period, rendering additional custody unnecessary. Dhanraj Vanjari on the telecast with me. Dhanraj, how do you view the defense and its arguments? Actually, before I go to Dhanraj Vanjari, quickly getting you, Advocate Chandni, into the conversation. Of course, the defense is putting up its case, saying that arrest of Chetan and Sia is not justified. Just because the two were present at the same location at the same time does not corroborate their alleged involvement in the murder.
So this was not a crime of passion. Number one, this was a very carefully planned conspiracy, and that has been proven by the prosecution until now very well with with the kind of the forensic evidences, the phone records, the financial records, the conduct before the incident, the conduct after the incident. There are electronic evidences. There are eyewitnesses who have said that Sia was she was unhinged after seeing the dead body of Ketan. So sometimes in such cases, the circumstantial evidences can be very, very strong when it comes to these kind of planned conspiracies, even stronger than sometimes eyewitness evidences. Because every chain gets proven, one by one. This happened, okay, after that this happened. So the best whatever the defense lawyers are doing, that is the best they could do. But as far as I understand how the courts work, the custody will be granted because number one, this is a high profile case, and number two, it has been done very meticulously.
Okay, all right. Advocate Chandni, stay on with me. More information coming in. Advocate Radhikesh Uttarwar, representing Chetan Chaudhary, has also stated in court that since the investigation is ongoing, it would be inappropriate to argue the merits of the case at this stage. He added that the police failed to present sufficient and concrete grounds for extending police custody, but considering the gravity of the matter, the court granted an additional 4 days of police custody. Coming back to Nirmal Kaur, of course, there are arguments and counter-arguments that have been put in court of law, and despite best efforts by the defense to not extend the police custody of the accused of Chetan Chaudhary, the court has given a 4-day additional custody to the police for interrogation, other investigations that it needs to do. So July 3rd is when this custody will end and they will be brought back to court. Now, do you think 4 days is going to be enough for the police to be able to reconstruct the case, find more evidences, strengthen their case and come back to court?
Definitely, the extension of custody was only expected in the circumstances of the case. Everyone expected that it would be extended, and 4 days is a long time, because it's not basically it's not that you have to establish a lot of forward backward linkages as you have to do in the cases of terror acts and all that. It is an individual crime between there are these three individuals. There's a triangle, and that is all that needs to be investigated. That the girl is in love with somebody else, but she doesn't stop at taking money from the fiancé. So all this has to be just established and evidence brought out. So if they work very hard at interrogating, I'm sure they'll be able to finish the job in 4 days, establish everything, recover all the data, and once they get hold of the conversations and all, they could separately question them both and confront one person's statement with the other and derive at whatever.
Absolutely. All right. Thank you for joining me on the telecast. Thank you both my guests for being